Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about self-awareness, gaining greater understanding of yourself. If you have not watched the last video that we dropped, you make well to go see the video. So moving on, it is almost impossible to change and become self-accepting if you are unsure as to who you are. And having clarity about who you are and what you want can be empowering, giving you the confidence to make changes. You need to know who you are. You need to understand what you are. You need to be self-aware of what you are. Okay, so that is what we'll be looking at today, self-awareness. Now, self-awareness is about learning to better understand why you feel what you feel and why you behave in a particular way. Once you begin to understand this concept, you have the opportunity and freedom to change things about yourself, enabling you to create the life you want. And self-awareness is the ability for you to focus on yourself and how your actions, your thoughts or emotions do or don't align with your internal standard. That is self-awareness. The ability for you to focus on yourself and how your actions and thoughts or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. That is what self-awareness is about. So if you're highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your feelings, align your behavior with your values, and understand how other people perceive you. It involves being aware of different aspects of yourself, including your traits, behaviors, and feeling. If you are a boss, you are an employee, whatever capacity you function in your organization, even at home, your personal life, it's very important that you are aware about yourself. You have good knowledge about yourself. So what are the importance of self-awareness? One, it makes for a better understanding of ourselves. We get to know who we are, how to manage ourselves, what emotional makeup we are made up of. Secondly, it creates room for individuals to be empowered to make changes. Once you know, you are aware of certain areas about yourself that needs improvement, you start making adjustments because you're already aware, you're aware about it. You ask questions and you've been able to evaluate this trait, this behavior of yours, and then these kind of emotions that you have, and then you start working on it and making changes about it. It's often the first step to goal setting. You cannot set goals for yourself when you do not understand yourself. So understanding yourself, being self-aware, is what will now help you by the time you're setting up your goals and plans for the future or in business. So we're going to look at basic forms of being self-aware or of the self. Number one is know thyself. To know thyself is what you and other people see in you, what others see in you, and as well as much as what you also see in yourself. Is the part that you are able to discuss freely with others, and then most of the time you agree with this view you have and others have of you. Okay, it's that part that you can discuss with anybody. Is what you see and others see in you, and you can discuss it, ask questions, ask your friends, ask family members about yourself, and then you agree with this version of you and what others also have of you. Secondly, we're going to look at the hidden self. The hidden self is what you see in yourself but others don't see. What you see in yourself, others don't see. And in this part, you hide things that are very private about yourself. You're reserved. You keep things to yourself. You do not want this information to be disclosed for the reason of protection, or probably someone, if it falls into the wrong hand, that is going to be used against you. And you may also feel ashamed of these areas and feel vulnerability to having your faults and weaknesses exposed. Many of us don't want to expose our weaknesses, considering the world we live in. So we don't want people to know about our weaknesses. Is an area that equally applies to the good qualities that you don't want to advertise to the world due to your modesty. So that is your hidden self. The first one is knowing yourself. The other one is what? Your hidden self. Now we're going to talk about the blind self. What is the blind self? The blind self is what you don't see in yourself, but others see in you. What you don't see in yourself, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe you can do this thing. You don't believe you can take up the challenge. You don't believe that you are that good to do this job. You don't believe that you are that skillful to engage into a particular job role. You don't just see yourself, and others see that in you. You might see yourself that you are not good enough, which is not so. You might see yourself as an open-minded person, when in reality people around you don't agree. That is another one. And then also is an area that requires you, that makes you walk the other way. You might see yourself as a dumb person, while others might consider you incredibly bright. Sometimes those around you might not tell you what they see because they fear they will offend you. They fear they will upset you. And then in this area, people sometimes detect that what you say and what you do don't match, and sometimes body language shows this mismatch. So that is talking about the blind self. The blind self, what others see in you that you don't see. So it's always very important. I've played with the word asking friends and families, that people who knows you, ask them about yourself, so that you'll be able to, in order for you to evaluate yourself very well. Now we're going to look at the unknown self. The unknown self is the self that you cannot see. Others can't see it either. And then in this category, there might be good and bad things that are out of the awareness of others and you. So this might refer to untapped potential, untapped talents and skills, and have yet to be explored by you, your friends, colleagues, or managers. Now going back to your hidden self or blind self, there's something about you, there is greatness in you, you have the skill, but you don't just see it. Others haven't realized it or recognized it in you. So how do you now pull out of this unknown self? So the first thing to do is take up challenges, take up tasks. All right, tasks that you feel that okay, within I can't do this thing, but you never knew that skill is already there, that potential, that talent is already there for you to engage in that task or in that job description. So you need to first of all start taking up tasks that in your own consciousness you feel you can't do it, but by the time you start doing it, you realize that you actually have the skills and the required skills to engage in that task. Now we are going to be looking at how to gain a greater understanding of yourself. Gaining a greater understanding of yourself. The first thing we want to look at is evaluate your strength and weakness. At this junction, if you've not subscribed to the channel, I will want you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and then share the video. Comments, if you have questions, drop it in the comment section, and then we'll make sure to reply. So first step to gaining a greater understanding of yourself is to evaluate your strengths and your weakness. In doing so, you can come to a better understanding of who you are and what is most important to you by thinking about your strengths and weaknesses. Importantly, you will want to compare your perception of your strengths and weaknesses to the strengths and weaknesses identified by your friends, family, or colleagues. And these things that they see and you don't, and that you don't, or these things that they see that you don't, can tell you a lot about yourself and how you see yourself. So you need to, once, this is where accepting feedback positively matters. When your colleague tells you something about you, it could be negative, but you need to sit down and think about the feedback that has been given to you to know if it's something that affects your person, and then you work on it. Okay. Next is for you to check when you experience strong emotions. Check yourself when you experience strong emotions. Sometimes you find yourself getting really angry. You get yourself find yourself sad. Sometimes you find yourself happy or very excited. And understanding what sets of these stronger than normal reactions, what their root cause is, can help you understand yourself better. If you know what triggers anger, if you know what makes you happy, what are the things that would occur, what are the events that will play out, and then you become sad, they will help you in knowing, it will help you in knowing how to prefer resolution to them and how to better understand yourself. For example, maybe you get really angry, violently angry about people talking during a movie. You don't like people talking when you're seeing a movie, and when each time they do that, you might lose focus or you lose attention. So what are the things that you do at that point in time? So you are really angry about the talking, or the question is, are you really angry about the talking, or are you angry because you felt like it was a personal sign of disrespect towards you, especially if you are older than every other person around there? Now, since this anger doesn't help the situation, you might be better off trying to find ways that you can be less concerned about people respecting you, just to keep your own blood pressure down. Because it takes a lot of energy for you to be angry. It saps a lot of energy out of you. And if you've seen people who actually get angry, you realize that, or people who are rage, at that point that they are violent, they are rage, they are talking, they are actually burning a lot of calories. They are exerting so much strength in doing that. And when they are calm, you now realize that, many of them start panting because they've just done some exercise. But it takes less energy for you to smile, and it makes you light. That is, you checking yourself and checking yourself when you experience strong emotions. Okay, so analyze. Number 3, analyze whether you need to tell or be told. Now, in this, when you are doing something like you're working, think about whether you seek out your next task without having to be asked, or whether you need someone else to tell you what to do before you act, or whether you would rather skip all of that in favor of just telling someone else what to do. And then each of these things can say different things about you depending on the situation. You need to remember that there is nothing wrong with needing someone to give instructions and guidance before doing a task. There is no man that is an island. Having people around you, or having someone to tell you what to do, or to probably guide you or give you advice, encouragement on what you're doing, it's very important. It's key. Perhaps there could be areas where you're making mistakes. Someone coming to having a second look at what you are doing could just spot that mistake or that error in what you're doing and then bring you back to the right track. It's just something that you need to take care of. It's very It's very important. Okay, and then is something to be aware of so that you can better understand and control your own behavior when important things comes up. Now let me give this example. If you are bad at taking control in a situation, but you know you need to, you can think about how your reluctance is just a habit that you can break and not a necessity. Very you know that you're bad at taking control in a situation, but you need to take control, but you don't just know how. So the first thing to do is just think about how your reluctance to taking control or managing the situation is a habit that can be broken, and it is not a necessity. And then by the time you start seeing things from that perspective, it's a headway in getting a better understanding of yourself. Then number 4, take time and experience life. So for this, the best way to really get to know yourself is for you to, however, experience life, just like getting to know another person, understanding yourself, get to know another person, and also then you understand yourself. So in understanding yourself, it takes time, and you will learn far more through experiencing life than by interviewing yourself and taking tests. Now, one of the things you can do is when you just take a break. Sometimes you just need to just travel, change location. Traveling will put you in a lot of different situations and test your ability to handle stress and adapt to change. Getting more education, letting go of expectations, just experience life. So these are ways in which we can gain greater understanding of yourself or ourselves. So today we have looked at self-awareness and how to gain better understanding of yourself. And we've said that self-awareness is the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, your thoughts, or your emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. Okay, so we've come to the end of today's video. Please, if you're getting value from this channel, you're getting value from the information that you are receiving from this channel, please make well to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp, The Attractions. You can scan the barcode there, and Instagram will be up shortly. So please send us. We're open to trainings, virtual trainings, physical trainings, and then we'll keep dropping videos. And if you're gaining value from the Attractions channel, make well to subscribe. Have a good day.